Thanks for joining me for another video. This is my in-depth for the Axiom. Several different things to hit here. We'll be looking at both the House and 2019 Nationals DNS shots. First, the Axiom comes at 3000 grit, and it's got kind of a sheen look to it like the Idol Pro. I realize it looks kind of shiny here, but it's not exactly shiny, it's just kind of oddly reflective. If you watch Storm and Chad McLean's videos, you'll see the same thing. In their testing, they said it was the earliest cover they've made, so it really wouldn't make sense to release it at 2000 like most solids. It'd be a little too crazy, I think. It's still crazy enough at this surface on the house shot, but that's partially due to my general lefty rust. I'm basically dumping it trying to get it down the lane, but once I get inside a little deeper and start getting on it, it looks pretty good. Very few times will a lefty ever need to get this deep, but hashtag illustration. This happens a lot on the right side as well. The majority of stronger stuff doesn't play right of third arrow for me, and the Axiom is no exception. I don't have one to compare it to, but it's very reminiscent of the Marvel S. On the Nationals DNS pattern, it's quite a bit different. It's a lot easier to get down the lane. For being such an early cover, it's pretty easy through the fronts and responsive down lane. Even on the house shot, it's just the friction response that was making it hook so much, and that's easily shown here. With oil outside and over 28 mils of it, playing straighter and rolling the ball was much easier. There's a lot of free friction on the left side. I'll be making some lefty versus righty videos to try and illustrate this, but even on tougher shots when there's more oil and oil outside, the backhand punch is going to be stronger and there's less room in the middle. As I said in the review, the target here is 3 or 4 board, and I'm getting a strong read off 3 plus a little bit of hold at 6. The Axiom seems to be a great blend between hook and shape. It's not as rolly as the Idol, but not as long and sharp as something like the Idol Pro. Again, it's like a baby UFO. It's a surprising amount of length and shape for an NRG-based cover, but with enough blend from the Nano. Surface plays into this a lot as well, but even at 3000, the Idol doesn't do this, and at 3000, the Idol Pro is longer and sharper. The Axiom has the UFO type shape, but in a bit more controllable package. The UFO was a lot of strong for me on this pattern, and the Axiom is still pretty strong, but it's easier to throw. If you like the UFO like I do, but aren't able to throw it very often because of the strength, take a look at the Axiom. It's got the same feel, but it's more throwable. Usually stuff is pretty responsive out of the box no matter what it is. Even my Idol looks somewhat quick, but there's a settling in period throughout the first 20 games or so, and it evens out into how it's going to react going forward. In their performance testing, the Axiom stays stronger longer, so to speak, so as I continue to throw it, the settling in period should be reduced, or where it settles to should be closer to how it came out of the box. That seems to be an issue for some people. It's not for me, because I think a ball is quite a bit more controllable and versatile once the hard edge of responsiveness softens. I actually love what happens to the Idol as it gets broken in, but there's some that want the box reaction forever. That's just not possible because science and physics, but the Axiom is supposed to retain its reaction longer than most. I'll continue to throw it as I practice for the next several months, and we'll see what happens come time for the 2-month report card, but I do like what the Axiom does. Hopefully it'll settle in just a little bit more. If nothing else, it'll lane shine, and that'll do what shine does. If you like the video, please drop a like and subscribe, really helps me out. The Axiom releases on March 20th. Thanks for watching.